We're going with Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris.
I'll probably go Chuck Norris. Heard some small stories about Bruce Lee, not like just only doing like other stuff, but Chuck Norris actually going in the tournaments and they're actually fighting. So Chuck Norris.
The feeling of seeing like a body just like drop cold in the mat, it's beautiful. It's just you applying the technique and seeing that it's just one touch. It's just 1 second and the body just drops cold and the person cannot move,
Everybody says, you get your top 5 athletes out there, on a basketball team. You got Barkley, you got Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, all that. Who's your top 5 fighters you walk into anywhere, ain't nobody fucking with, you guys knocking everybody out?
Shit, I got Francis Ngannou. I got Izzy. I got Demetrius Johnson. And I got Kamaru Usman. Oh, I got one more?
No, you included. So. Nikes or Jordans?
I'll go with Jordans all day. I'm rocking some right now, bro.
What you got on? Let's see real quick, man. You got the 13s on? What you got, man? Let's see. He walking into the gym. Retro 5.
Yeah,
OG, white cement. Take us into the locker room with you. So when you're walking out of there and your name's being announced, what's going through your mind? Are you... Yo. Welcome. MMA locker room here. We already know we ain't even gonna bring him in, man. He's already here on the show, man. Matt Frevola joins the show, seconds out. Don't worry about them other shows. We the best out. How you doing, my man?
No, I'm doing good, man. Just getting ready for Christmas, bro. Finishing the year strong.
Hell yeah, finishing it strong. I mean, damn, knockout strong. I mean, the biggest man on MMA Twitter strong. Do they really want to smoke with you this year?
They don't want it. I'm still smoking on this Ottman pack right now.
Man, you know how it is here, man. That's what I like to see here, man. Shout out to everybody checking in right now, man. We got Matt Frevola checking in right now, man. The steamroller himself, it's only right that he come through blowing the steam. You know how it is, man. We still feeling that little victory off that Ottman Azatar win. So just tell me, man, like honestly, how did it feel to have a crowd backing you in that fight?
Dude, it felt so good, man. He was, dude, honestly, he was the perfect bad guy. From his walkout, he walked out to like this weird song, and then he got down on his hands and knees and he like kissed his father's feet before he got into the octagon. It was, and then all the shit he pulled in Abu Dhabi, he was the perfect villain for me to go in there and get the job done. And it was unreal, man. Hearing the steamroller chants going through MSG, hearing the USA chants going through MSG, it was amazing.
So that was one thing that was amazing. Your walkout was amazing, even though you did come out to the opposite team. It's Yankee pinstripes over here. But I mean, you walked out to, the Mets closer theme song and stuff, like, and you came in there and closed the deal. So like once you heard the crowd backing you up, besides that, like and Bruce Buffer said, it's time and dapped you. Like, what was the first thing that ran through your head right before you actually threw a strike?
Dude, it's just, let's do this. Let's do this. That's what it's always like, even in the room. In the locker room, people always say, do you get nervous? You get nervous in the locker room, but it's more anxious. I'm like, I'm ready. Let's do this. Like the kind of waiting around. I'm just like, all right, let's do this. I'm ready, but I don't dab Buffer anymore. I dabbed Buffer my UFC debut, and that one didn't go too well for me. So after that, no, we don't dab Buffer. I just lock in and get going.
Got it, man. I like to hear that, man. He said no more dapping him no more, man. Stone Cold hoodie on, Mob Deep mentality. I like that right there. So, I mean, the fight finished, so quick, but like actually, Was that how you envisioned the fight, or like how did you see the fight? Did you think it was gonna go 7 minutes? Second round. Like after it's all said and done, now I remember you were on Twitter asking people, should I grapple? Should I fight? Should I bang? And I mean, like, so yeah. How did the fight envision out?
Honestly, I was prepared for a 5 round war. I wanted to grapple with him. I wanted to take him down, and I wanted to just pound him out. I wanted to break his will. But every fight, that's what I'm prepared to do. I prepare every fight like I'm gonna go in there for 15 minutes, a 15-minute war, and I'm always prepared for that. But when we get that knockout, in round one, I ain't mad about it.
Yeah, man. Did you did you get any perks off that night? Because I remember they were giving away bonuses, but I don't think Frevola got one, man, for that night, right?
No, I didn't get a bonus for that one. I
But I
know,
mean, you did get the satisfaction of just knocking his ass out, though, right? I mean, that's some type of bonus, right?
Oh yeah, and it was a moment that I'll never forget, and I think I'll be going back to MSG. That was my second fight at MSG. My first fight was a banger against Lando, and now I have a great fight against Ottman. I think you're going to be seeing steamroll at MSG, more often every year.
I even add on to that. I was thinking about this. How about this? Pay-per-view only for Vola. That's the new thing. Pay-per-views only, man. After
Yeah.
these performances, nah, man. We ain't putting them on fight nights. Pay-per-view only for Vola. Like,
Main card pay-per-views. Let's go.
let's go, man. Let's go. I mean, yeah, just speaking on it, because when you're fighting on a pay-per-view event, the attention's there, and you have a lot more main card fighters on there. You've been fighting now in the UFC for a while, so I mean, you're definitely a mainstay. It's not one of those fighters that gets a few wins and losses, sits on the sideline, doesn't fight for a year, comes back, takes a fight, and everybody's like, what's up with them? You're here to stay, right? So like, it's only fitting that you should be on those main cards.
Yeah, and I always look for the biggest fights. I always, I choose a month, and whatever month I want to fight, I find out when the pay-per-view is that month, and that's the card I want to get on. I love being on the big cards. The one thing that some of the guys say is, you fight on the pay-per-views all the time, like you won't get bonuses as much because they just give all the bonuses to like the champions and whatnot, which has honestly, kind of been like my career. And some guys want to fight on these fight nights because, if I have these performances, on fight nights, I'd be guaranteed 50 grand. But honestly, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and I want to be on those big cards, and they're gonna start paying me.
I love it, man. Speaking about start getting paid, goes into my next segment. Are you on your second contract with the UFC? How many fights do you got left? If so, like where are we at with the contract stage? Because I'll be honest, man, coming off two impressive wins like that, I mean that has to go nice going into the conversations for a new contract, right?
Yeah, that was my first fight on my new deal, and this was like my third 4 fight deal with the UFC. Uh, so, and I want a big fight, man. My next fight, I want a big fight, and I want to renegotiate. I definitely want
Hell
to
yeah.
make what I feel like I've earned and what I deserve. So I want the big fights. I want a new contract, and I think everyone knows the fight that I want, and you know it makes sense.
Man,
It makes sense. People want it, and I think that's the fight that'll get us that new contract and get us to the next tier.
man, you've been calling for this fight before he was even popular, man, before everybody was mentioning him. You even went to a different stage and even did a nice little parody video to get his attention too. So I mean, Patty Pimblett, man, I mean, that's the name you're talking about. They do have a fight card going out there in his hometown, out there where he resides, but coming off of the way he just looked against Jared Gordon, and you were in that building. I was in that building as well. Just because I was in there as a fan. You was actually in there building with Billy. how do you think the UFC is gonna? Nah, fuck it. Let's just get down to it, man. Did Patty Pimblett win that fight?
No, I mean when I scored it, I was live scoring it, and I thought Jared won every round. Um, but I think it was a close fight. I guess you could see where Patty was throwing his shots, and it looked like Jared was like blocking everything and moving, but maybe these judges are like listening to the crowd. The angles that they're seeing it, they're scoring it higher. I don't know. It was a close fight, but I had Jared winning. But honestly, I was happy Patty won. I thought it was perfect. I want to be the one to take that hype. I want to be the one to humble him. And I am the one to humble him. There's no one else. There's no one else to humble him than me.
You think Dana would in UFC and Sean Shelby and Mickey Maynard would just go ahead and give the steamroller something like that? You think they'd protect him a little bit the way that he just came off that last fight performance?
Honestly, I don't see why not. Why not me? He's got to fight somebody. He's got to fight somebody. He's 4-0 in the UFC now. You can't give him some scrub. You got to give him somebody, somebody like me.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody like me. Yeah, I mean, shit. That's the fight, man. That's the fight. I mean, we all know MMA Twitter wants to see that. If that wasn't to happen, I do have a few fights in mind that I would love to see upper in the rank too. Maybe one against Mark Madsen. He's ranked number 20, I think, in the division right there. I could see a nice little fight with that. Maybe a Vince Pichel fight, maybe, after he gets healthy too. What do you think about it? Maybe a fight with any of those two guys or anybody else in the division besides Patty if that doesn't come to fruition?
Yeah, we're putting our hit list together. After every fight, right around now, I always get like a nice list of a hit list of I like and I want to fight. Fights that just excite me. And we got our list going. But Mark Madsen's coming off a loss, so definitely I want to fight somebody coming off a win. Vince Pichel, I love that fight, man. If he's healthy, yeah, I got to check see if he's coming off a win. But honestly, I think it's time for me to get like my Legends fight.
I give it that, and you're kind of right. It's like everybody needs that shot. Everybody needs that one fight to say, "Hey, are you there yet?" I mean, I wouldn't even mind a fight with Drew Dober. What do you think about that?
Oh man, he looked great. Yeah, that knockout over Bobby Green was awesome. I'd love that fight too. I think Dober is trying to break into like the Justin Gaethjes, the Michael Chandlers, and all that. So I hope that I'd rather see Dober try to break into that. But I want my Legends fight, and I think Guida is the legend. He's coming off a win. I think he's coming off 2 wins, and I think that would be a fun, awesome fight. My favorite fight, like for years, is always Clay Guida and Diego Sanchez.
Classic.
Back in the day.
Classic.
I love that fight, and I think that it would be cool, man. Like to be able to, fight. That's like when your idols become your rivals, and I would have to, go through that. So that'd be a fun one.
Got it, man. So you got a big fight got announced in your division. New champion Islam going to be taking on Volkanovski. What's your thoughts on that fight?
That'll be interesting, man. Dude, Islam's a man, and I don't not like Islam, but I want to see him get tested. I want to see him face some adversity in a fight, come back, and that's what I want to see out of Islam. But I like Volk. I think he's awesome. I think it'll be interesting to see him up at 155 and just see his body, his frame. I think Islam, will probably might have a tougher time, getting getting low and taking him down. But we'll see. I hope that Islam or Volk will get it done. But I wouldn't put any money on it.
No, no. You ain't putting money on nothing no more. We got somebody else to blame for that right
Yeah,
now.
I can't even put money on it anymore.
Right.
Fuck you, James Krause.
Right. Yeah. So, okay. So, quick seconds. Seconds out. How do you beat Islam?
Well, he got beat. He got knocked out. Everyone could get knocked out. Everyone's mortal. So you find that timing, you find that sweet spot, you catch him and you knock him out, and you stop his takedowns. You got to stop his takedowns and maybe get him on his back. I don't know if we've seen him that much on his back, but yeah.
How do you beat Alexander Volkanovski?
Volk's never lost in the UFC, right? Or yeah, Volk's never lost in the UFC.
I don't think so, right? I have to fact check that. I don't think so though. Yeah. So there's no. So with that being said, there's kind of not like a game plan, then, right?
No. But again, he's mortal. He could get knocked out. Anybody could get knocked out. I think Islam is gonna do what he's been doing to everybody. He's gonna have slick striking, good technical striking, long, light on his feet, and then he's gonna Khabib him. Take him down. Shoot his takedowns, grapple him. I think, and then try to smash him. Smash him and I like Islam because he's got like great submissions too. His jiu-jitsu is real nice. When Khabib is more like takes you down, just smashes you, pounds you. But I like Islam's jiu-jitsu and his stand-up. So we'll see.
Man, speaking of jiu-jitsu, I mean, you come from one of the stronger backgrounds out there. You got Aljamain with you out there. You got Marab with you. What's up with the Funkmaster Flex? And like, I'll be honest, man. How is it just rolling with the champion? It's like you've been down with the team for so long. That little close knit group. You, him, Marab, everybody like that. Like, how's it been, man?
Oh, it's awesome, man. Marab and Aljo were just out in Jamaica for a couple weeks, just crushing it out there.
Marab was living his best life. I was seeing on the gram.
That's what he does. Yeah, that's what he does. He's the man. And then Aljo just giving back. The champ going to Jamaica. It's awesome, man. He's living champ life, and it's inspiring to watch. And while he was out there, I was staying at his house in Vegas. Holding it down at Casa de Funk, and training in Vegas. But just being able to train with Aljo and roll with him. He's so good, and he's gonna be the when he beats Cejudo, he's the bantamweight GOAT, and I see his title run, for as long as he wants it. So I'm pumped. Next year, this year was a big year for us, but next year, I think you're gonna even see a few more Sarah Longo UFC fighters, and it's going to be a good 2023.
Yeah, man, I definitely feel the same, man. I mean, Aljo has one of the stronger resumes, even before the belt. People don't look at that, and I remember him. I got to see him fight live against who was it? Hannon Burrell. Yeah, when he fought in Anaheim on the John Jones versus, I want to say it was DC card, the second fight. But he's been doing this thing ever since then. It was one fight, he took a TKO loss to Marlon Moraes, and it's just so funny in this game. People write you off after the one loss. And, they kept saying, oh, well, he's chinny, he's this, he's boring. And all he did after that was just get better step by step. I can't strike, I can't do this, improved on everything. And it's like people still just want to kind of act like he's not that dude. And I'm like, man, well, I guess, man. I'm not going to say it, but I'm like, Aljo's the man. I'll be honest, my favorite fighter in that division was TJ Dillashaw, though. But much respect to Aljo all day. Been an Aljo fan, and it's not just because you like one fighter you can't like the next one. That's the thing that other people get mixed up too, or because you're in the fight game and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's got to be in this. You got respect that But they've been counting Aljo out since day one. They've been counting me out since day one. They've been counting us out since day one, and we just keep proving them wrong. That's what we do.
Hell yeah, man. So 2023 coming right around the corner. What's the most expensive thing you bought for this Christmas? Since this has been a great year. That's why I have to ask, because sometimes the people around us, they're okay with other things. They're like, oh, it's okay. You don't got to get me nothing big. But, anything that you got somebody super big this time just to show them, a little bit more gratitude this year?
Oh, man, had to be the wifey. I got the wifey the earrings she wanted, so she got it. She got her earrings. But yeah, I can't believe Christmas is this weekend.
Yeah, man, right around the corner, man. Let me ask you guys got any Christmas traditions that you guys do as a family?
We're gonna eat some cinnamon rolls in the morning. That's always I'm a big cinnamon roll Cinnabon guy. Christmas morning. That's definitely the tradition.
Let me ask you something, man. I always like asking UFC fighters this, man. So you go to a sold out arena, crowd screaming, adrenaline pumped, on a Saturday, right? All the attention building up to it. You win your fight. You feel unbelievable, unbeatable, right? Then you go home on that Monday, walk into like a grocery store or something. Like sometimes nobody even like knows that you were just in that awesome ass fight, and you're just back to your regular life, and you're like, oh, okay, just life goes on. Like, isn't that like a crazy high ups and downs?
Yeah, it's definitely like the week after that fight. It's definitely like your serotonin levels are you're just like you're fucking going from crazy to and then just like regular life again. Just getting back to it. It's all part of the process, and now I'm familiar with it, and it's funny. It's like I'll be from like a win and a loss. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, but obviously the win is just like definitely sweeter.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
just
so
like,
similar.
yeah.
Just have that high, and then afterwards, and then it's just life goes on. Just on right back to it. It's back to the next phase. It's the balance. It's the balance that's key to life. I don't know if it's that blunt I just smoked that got that to me.
Let me ask, man, you an indica or you a sativa guy?
Oh man, I'm whatever my boy Corey rolls.
There we go. Okay. Okay. You mess with backwoods too, or just blunts and joints?
He rolls Dutch Masters, but I mean, I only
Okay.
he's rolling a blunt. If anything, I wasn't really. I'm not smoking as much, but I'm finishing off the edibles I brought back from Vegas.
There you go. All right.
Yeah,
Who
we
you
got
banging right?
get the cardio back now. I
Let me.
gotta spar my boy Nazim tomorrow. That's the next Sarah Longo killer making his UFC debut, February 18th in Vegas. UFC debut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's his full name?
Nazim Sadikov, the Black Wolf. He's a beast. He had a huge knockout on Contender Series.
Yes. Yeah. No, I seen him. Yeah. No, because I'm like that name sounds familiar, and then when you say Black Wolf, I'm like that sounds familiar. And then, yeah. No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Me and Longo were in his corner for Contender Series.
Yeah, got it. Makes sense. I remember that because yeah, this contender series I just passed, they had a lot of UFC fighters actually in fighters' corners and training them and stuff. And I remember Dana was like, "Ain't none of that gonna help you. If your fighter ain't good, he ain't good. He was like, you gotta perform today. And I was like, I'm like, but nah, the Black Wolf, hell yeah, man, can't wait. Who's he fighting?
He's fighting. I gotta check his name.
Got it. No worries. Hell
He's
yeah.
a righty. He's a wrestler and a striker, so that's why I'm sparring him. I got it. He pretty much just a righty, well-rounded mixed martial artist.
What's the difference between being a mixed martial artist and an MMA fighter?
Um, you know, you could say MMA fighter. You know, you. I think it's if you are only training, you know, for a fight, you're just a fighter. But if you're training, if you have to train all the time for yourself, you know, just to like balance yourself out, you're like a martial artist, mixed martial artist. You know, the guys who always train and are always, you know, that
Lifestyle.
yeah, it's a lot the lifestyle are mixed martial artists. Then you get guys that, you know, only train when they have a fight.
Yeah, yeah.
Which you know,
Look,
you go through phases, you know.
hell
But
yeah, man. Nah, man, we're not gonna hold you for too long, man. So I just wanted to go through some of the quick things that happened this year and your thoughts on it. Then we'll end it up and wrap it up like that. Give you a minute and give you your time to give out a shout out to all your sponsors and everything. Biggest upsets of the year. What is in the water this year? I mean, what was the biggest upset of you? What was the biggest surprise this year? And yeah,
oh yeah, it was Usman getting head kicked by Edwards. I didn't. I thought Usman was going to be the champ for like a long time, but hey, you know, he was winning that fight. You know, he got caught, he got finished, and he's getting that rematch, and we get to see how he comes back. And I think he goes out there and beats Edwards and finishes Edwards. I think he's right back. He's even more of a goat. You know, like he's even more you know high up on the list for me.
that makes sense. I mean, he's not immortal, already has one loss, so he comes back, does that, and then, cements his name a little bit higher. What do you think about this? This is one thing I noticed. All right. Same thing with Izzy Alessandro, right? And same thing with Usman. They both were kind of winning these fights, right? You could kind of say dominating them, right? But they didn't finish their opponent. By not finishing their opponent, left them vulnerable for them to take those losses and not be the champion no more. And it's kind of a slap in the face too, because if you're dominating the guy, all the way through, you should be looking to finish. And it seems like nowadays certain fighters are just looking to fight instead of finish. And now it's coming back to hit them hard, right? Like, what's the difference, do you think, in their mentality now, since they both got finished later on in the fight? You think they're still going to be going out there to fight the same way, or do you think they're going to be going out there to actually fight a little bit more entertaining and look for the finish?
I mean, we'll see. You know, the only people that truly know, you know, how they were in that fifth round is them. Usman, they got to look like inside themselves and be like, you know, what was I doing in that fifth round? Like, why did I like stop, you know, going for the kill? And I think that's like, you know, they just got to recognize that and try to get to that in sparring, in training, and then push through that.
But see, that's the difference though, in just in mentality sometimes with people that fight, like they're not fighters that, sometimes look for the finish compared to you. You're out there, you're looking for the finish, right? Right when they say fight, you're not trying to take any time off, and I remember that, like, when you guys were throwing and he got in that clinch and you were like, bro, you're wild right now. I'm about to, like, I just remember watching the replays. I mean, like, that feeling right there had to be feeling great for you, for one, because everybody was saying just wrestle, take him down, take him down. And you're like, bro, you don't know about these hands? I'm about to show these people, right? Caught him real quick in the clinch. He drops to the floor. You go over there and just start King Konging him. I call up the stream and say, go ahead and cash it. Matt Frevola, stick to your guys, stick to your guns, stick to your guts. You know what I mean? And it just felt great, man. I had an article written up on you and everything like that. I was going for the takedowns, but it felt so fucking great to see that, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and hopefully they keep doubting us. Let them feed me to the scouser. Let's go.
Let's go, man. So we're gonna wrap it up like this, man. Seconds out right here. Matt Frevola wrapping up 2022. Next time you see us on the show, it's gonna be 2023. Another win. He's gonna be back in the winner's circle right now. I'm gonna go ahead and give him the stage right now, man. You can go ahead and shout out all your sponsors, all your training partners that you got training with. Any CBD companies or anything like that, or else let them know where can they get that merch, because that merch you got moving is hotter than vape right now.
Yeah, the merch is definitely hot. Go to millions.com for Matt Frevola for the merch. The Big Body Steam is out there. We got some good stuff, and then watch my boy Nazim. He's up next. He's fighting in February, and it'll be Aljamain in March. It should be me March. We'll stay busy next year. So yeah.
Let's go, man. Let's go, man. You heard it here first, man. You got MMA Locker Room right here. Matt Frevola, the steamroller, came in blowing the steam on this one, man. Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate everybody for rocking with us too for 2022. Anybody else out there in the chat got a question? Let me see. Is there any lower rank price? Okay. One from I got one loyal fan. He always asks, whenever you get Matt on the show, please, just let me know. I didn't even hit him the notification, but here we go. Is there any lower rank fighters from a different gym that Matt has trained with a few times that he was impressed by?
Yeah. A guy down in Tampa, one of Billy Q's main guys, Will Rentz. He's fought for CFFC a couple times. He's a 155er. He's a workhorse, man. He's like one of those kids that just will like fucking run like a drag a plate like hundreds of yards nonstop. But he's a tough dude. So yeah, I'm excited to see his career, and I'm thinking he'll probably be fighting at CFFC when they're in Tampa next.
Got it, man. You heard it here first, man. Right when he has fight news, we'll be talking about it right here on Pub Sports Radio. Appreciate everybody for rocking with us. Have a happy Merry Christmas and a good New Year. It's my birthday, so I just want to say, whatever you do, just know where you heard it here first. Pub Sports Radio. F the rest out. We the best out. Seconds out.